Well, here you go then, day 6, Tour of Britannia from Flame Rouge Racing. Just getting myself warmed up and ready for this race. This is the Syco-list, let's get on with it. Well, here you are joining me for stage 6 of the Flame Rouge Racing Tour of Britannia. Today this race is taking place on the New York KnickerBocker. The route's slightly amended, it's just over a 20-mile race, taking in the New York KOM, the glass road, on 2 attempts. I think we're finishing just over the top of that KOM as well, so race to the end and then they throw the KOM in at the end as well. So yeah, small field today, 28 riders in this one. Category C pen again, racing in the HAB classification in Tour Britannia. Going into this one, I think I'm GC wise, I think I'm still sat in the high 30s, 38, 39, something like that after 5 stages. After today we've got 4 stages left, another individual time trial and 2 longer races at the weekend. But this one today is just a case of doing my best to get a good time. Probably not ideal being in a smaller field, as less people probably want to work with me or do anything with me, but we'll jump into this one. I'll speed it up a little bit because the first start of this race is very much we just all stay together for quite some time, but I'll speed up and I'll jump back on in a little while. One of the things with doing this tour series that I'm doing is having enough kit to get through every day of racing. Today in this video I'm actually wearing the Cycling Appreciation Society kit, bib, shorts and summer jersey to keep me cool whilst I'm training in the pain cave. I'll put a link in the description below, but if you want to get hold of any CAS Kit, the link is there, and I'll put in a code for a discount that you can use as well. But great kit, ideal for outdoors during the summer. I quite enjoy wearing it indoors in these races as well, because it's probably one of my lighter kits, so it doesn't get so hot indoors. The fan's on, but it's nice to keep the kit on, and I'm not one to go bare chested on these races. I don't think you want to see that really. But yeah, great kit, great value for money. So here we are heading up towards the New York sprint segment. A few people you can see are moving, picking up the pace a little bit and moving forward. I'm just going to hold the wheels, follow it through. Don't intend getting out the saddle and sprinting like that fella's just done past me. Just stay with the wheels, and those that have made a sprint effort will probably sit up and let the group rejoin them. But definitely not putting a sprint in there, as I know that the New York KOM is just around the corner on this one. So here we are on the famous glass road, just about to start the New York KOM, which is a 6.5% average gradient, under a mile in length. It does have some kickers in this, 15%. I think there is a 18% in a little while. As you can see, the heads-up display in front of me is giving me an indication of where the segments are that are going to ramp up a little bit. Gives you an idea of where you can put the effort in and then try and get some recovery on the blue segments. Here, sitting in 5th place, I know this hill isn't going to be my strength, so it's just a case of damage and limitation even. So just sit in and do what I can, get the recovery in on the blue sections, and then push through on the other steeper sections. But this is a mile-long climb. It does have some areas to recover a little bit in it, like now this segment here is sort of fairly flat, -1 degree down. Benefit today, I'm obviously riding the Wahoo Kicker bike, and it does have the tilt feature in the bike, so the bike actually tilts every time we come to these gradients, like now 13-14% gradient. My bike actually tilts to that percentage, so it allows me to feel as if I'm actually on that percentage climb, which is a really nice feature, especially when you get out the saddle, because the bike is in the position it would be if you're actually on a 14-15% gradient. So it's a nice feature to have indoor training wise. I don't always ride with it on, but I did today purely because when I get out the saddle on these steeper climbs, it's nice to have the bike in the right position. Not that I want to get out the saddle too much on this segment. So just pushing through now, get through this segment here, get to that next blue stage and recover. Dropped off a little bit down into 7th place, but I'm still happy with that. Just still sticking to pushing the pedals and doing what I can to hold that group. So the KOM Banner's now up in front of me. Final little effort here. A few more riders have joined me, and then after that there's a bit of a gap, 5 seconds to the rider behind, 12 seconds after that. But again, just got to sit and do what I can. 8th at the moment. Ideally I don't want a gap from the riders in front of me. I'd rather be in a group so that you gain the benefits of being aero and that. But once we get over the top of this climb, just see what's ahead of me. These riders are gapping me at the moment. They've put 4 or 5 seconds in me as we've gone over the top of this. Just going to be a decision whether or not I try and bridge that or not. Just taking a bit of a breather over the top of that one. The gaps in front of me, 3, 9 seconds, 13 seconds. So there's a few riders that if I could catch on this descent would be worth it. Just getting a bit of a breather in here. Got the aero tuck going on. Just looking at what's around me. 3 seconds that rider in front of me. So if I can close that down and work with that rider, we might be able to get the rider that's 9 seconds down the road. But I'm going to have to make an effort in a minute to do something. Here we go, sprint, put in a little dig, try and see if I can gain those 3 seconds on that rider. On these downhill bits, if you put the sprint effort in, you can get the aero tuck quite quick, and that does benefit you on these down bits, especially with my weight advantage. It does help on the downhills. So as it flattens out, I'm back on the pedals, another dig here. 500-600 watts, just a little dig, just to keep the momentum going. That seconds have come down now, 1 second to that rider in front. But when I do get there, I don't want to stop because the other riders are 6 and 9 seconds ahead of him. So I want to push through and make the most of this descent and try and get back into that group, so that when we're going through the rest of this circuit, which is flat with a few little kicks, I'm within a group. I'll work better in that group. So caught that one. Going to try and push on now. 5 seconds and 7 seconds to the riders in front now. Quick breather with the aero tuck. And then when we get to the bottom, you can just about see the rider in the distance. Take the left hand bend and just try and see if I can gain anything. This section here is quite flat, so I'm just going to put in another dig, 700 watts here. Try and just close that gap off as best I can, and then once I get there I can have a bit of recovery. 400 watts still gaining, 2-3 seconds ahead they are now, so just closing up nicely. Just come off the pedals a little bit here, just letting it roll up. The thing is, I don't want to catch them and then roll straight through the front and go off the front. Just want to come up to them nicely and just sit on their wheels a little bit. But you can see the person I caught on the descent, I've put 6 seconds into them as I've pushed through to get to this group. So I'm happy with that. I'm across to this group now, so it's worth the effort over the top of that climb. So I've sat in this group for a little while. It's not really moving anywhere. We're just all matching each other, just working together, not really putting any power down. But the group behind us, we've got 10 seconds on. They're really putting in the effort. So you can see their watts per kilo, 7 watts per kilo, 6 watts per kilo. They are really putting in the effort to get across to us, which is 3 riders, maybe 4 riders behind us that are making that effort to get across. It looks like Connelly from yesterday's individual TT riding for Dirt is in that group. He's putting in the effort to get across, which is worth it in the long run. If they can get across to us as well and make this group a little bit bigger, then they'll be able to get some rest and get some area benefits of sitting in this group. But yeah, they're definitely putting that effort in, like I did down the descent, put the effort in to get across to this group. We're not getting away from them really, and they're gaining seconds on us, so no doubt in a little while they'll be over to us and make this group a little bit bigger. So that chasing group have got it down to about 3 seconds now. They're definitely going to be rejoining us shortly and getting on the back of this group with us. Great effort by them. They've obviously worked well together as a little group to bridge that gap, and here they are. There's Connelly there in the Dirt Racing Kit, just joining our group. I was feeling a little bit in this race today that this group, maybe we should have pushed on a little bit harder. My watts are down as normal racing, 262 average at the moment. I was putting out more yesterday in the individual TT. I know this New York course has got a few kicks and rises, but I just feel like we're just sitting and waiting now for that final climb again. But I'm going to push this video on a little bit just so that you don't see as we just literally just roll through and help each other out and keep moving, but we're not really putting any big efforts in. No one's trying to get away. I think we've lost 2 riders off the front off that first climb, but our group is probably the top 10, I would have thought now, so it should hopefully get a top 10 finish out of this. just coming up to 35 minutes into this race. I'm about to take on some food. One of the One Good Thing protein bars, the first wrapper-free oat and protein bar. Get some of that in me. Hopefully that'll fuel me a bit further on. Eat the rest of that bar as we're going along. It's nice and handy having no wrapper to dispose of to worry about. Just literally get in, bite it, get on with it. Glad I didn't do it too near a hill. But yeah, helps me get some food in, helps me fuel these rides. Even though I'm indoors, I still like to fuel my rides properly. You can see that I've got my fluids there as well. It's about getting the right carb mixes and stuff into your body whilst you're racing as well. So no different to outside racing, you still got to take on your fluids, still got to eat properly. So you'll see me munching on that little bar as we go along. One of the comments I had yesterday on my race video was about my cadence. So basically, when I was getting onto some of the Clyde kicker reverses yesterday in the individual TTs, I had quite a high cadence. My coach has always told me cadence is power, but yeah, yesterday in those segments, the short little kickers, I really ramped up my cadence to bring my power up. little bit like that today in this race, increasing my cadence to get over the little kickers, and also making the most of the downhills where I could get a chance to recover and soft pedal or not pedal at all, which you'll see throughout this. So cadence wise, yeah, it does fluctuate and vary. I tend to average around the 90 RPM on these races, but I can hit up to 120 RPM on some of the climbs, so it's something that I'm aware that I do. It was quite nice that one of the riders yesterday that watched the video afterwards has commented on it, so that's a little bit about my cadence really. So nothing's really changed in this group. Sat in 7th place as we started the New York KOM for the second time. The finish today is going to be over the top of this KOM and slightly down the descent, so hopefully everyone's read the course notes to realise that. Don't stop at the KOM. But, here I'm looking for, in my head, I'm thinking if I can get through this first segment and onto that blue and stay in about 8th place, I'd be happy. A top 10 finish looks like it's going to be on the cards for me, but there's a few stronger riders here. I say stronger riders, their watts per kilo are better than mine in the fact that they're lighter riders and they have to put out less watts to get a better watts per kilo than me. But ideally, going up this climb, I've averaged 253 watts so far in this race for 52 minutes. This climb, if I make an effort on it, I might be able to get a PR on it. Earlier on I did it in 4 minutes 27, so it's potentially just over 4 minutes of effort, and hopefully I can get a PR, get over the top of this and get a good finish. But at the moment a few riders have been dropped a little bit here, a couple of seconds to those riders behind, and I'm getting dropped by the group in front, so it is split up. We came into this all pretty much together, and one of the riders is 8 seconds ahead of me. That's the furthest away ahead of me at the moment from our group, and one of the riders is 2 seconds down on me. So we've spread out over a 10-second gap coming up this climb. On the 9% bit at the moment, my friend Connelly's joined me again, and I'm just at this moment thinking, right, get through the next bit, put some effort in, get to that blue bit, get some recovery, go easier on that yellow, and then push again on the sort of the orange and darker orange segments, which are the steeper bits. But it is a grind. I haven't done 6 days of racing in a row. It's the first time I've ever done a tour series. Really enjoying it. It's been really exciting to look at the results at the end of the day, see where you are on GC. Obviously we're racing all at different times of the day, so it doesn't really update that quickly. I might have been better off if I'd raced at, say, 6:30 tonight when there's more riders in the race. Maybe I'd get more draft benefits, be able to push on harder in with other sort of riders, bigger riders. In the fact of numbers, that might have helped me, but at the moment I've got to do what I've got to do. Got to fit in around my life cycle balance at the moment. 10:30 this morning suited me the best, so I've jumped on, get it finished, and know that there's 4 days left after this, 4 stages. So that's that segment done. A bit easier now on this yellow segment, not far to the top, 0.6 of a mile left to the finish line. So once I get to the top of this KOM, which I'll see the banner shortly in the distance, there is a flat segment and then a descent, which will get us down to the next part. So now out the saddle, just pushing in the final watt just to try and see if I can gain anything. Those riders ahead of me are 5 seconds ahead, and I'm being caught from one of the riders behind. Currently sat in 7th, just got to push over the top and see if I can get any of those places in front back, but it looks like they've reached the flat segment at the top. Here's the banner for me if I set a PR. Let's see, there's some confetti. Yeah, PR for me on that segment to finish this race. So that's quite a nice feeling to know that I have actually worked harder on that segment to set a PR. Personal best, I can't see what it is yet, hasn't told me. 4 minutes 22, so I've taken 5 seconds out of the first time up of it. So that's not too bad. Now push to the finish. I managed to put some seconds in that rider behind me. Just coming down towards the finish line now, 500 feet to go. Going to finish 7th by the looks of it, happy with that. 258 watts average power. So where's the stats? There you go, 257 watts, 3.3 watts per kilo. Well, there you go, stage 6 done, just cooling down now. If you have liked this video, please click that like button, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.